Welcome to Real Talk Friday. My name is Joe Contreras, and I'm the current Student Government Association president. Today, I'm joined by my executive board, and we will be discussing why we joined the Student Government Association, our roles on campus, and how you should get involved with SGA and why, along with some SGA updates. So make sure to stay tuned in until the end. First, my name is Joe Contreras, as I mentioned earlier. I am a communication major, I'm a senior, and I'm the SGA president.
My name is Maddie Wenger. I am the Executive Vice President for SGA. I'm a kinesiology major with a pre-health emphasis, and I am a first semester senior.
My name is Matthew Holgate. I am the current Vice President of Communication. I am a junior this year. I'm a communication major with a journalism and digital media minor. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Hi, my name is Lucy Estrada. I'm a junior here at Vanguard. I'm a business administration major, and I am the SGA Vice President of Finance and Policy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're just going to go around and share a little bit of why we decided to join SGA in the first place. We'll start off with Maddie.
Yeah, I decided to join SGA in the first place. One, because Joe was going to be president, and who doesn't want to work with Joe Contreras, the infamous Joe Contreras? But also, my freshman and sophomore year, I have been involved with student leadership with Freshman Activate and then the board of directors. And I really enjoyed being a part of the student engagement aspect of college life and getting to be mentored and walked alongside in my journey with professors and faculty and staff in the Office of Student Engagement. And I had seen things that I thought could use an improvement in the school, and I wanted the opportunity to enhance like the Vanguard culture and experience. And I wanted to play a role in creating an inclusive, memorable Vanguard experience for everyone.
Well, for one of the reasons that I joined SGA was really similar to Maddie. We were actually in the Freshman Activate group together. So we were just always doing different things like being a part of student leadership and helping with different student leadership stuff. And I was also in the intercultural student programs department last year. So I was always like very involved in student leadership and just like student engagement and stuff. And I really loved working with students. And I felt like my position was uniquely geared towards something that I want to pursue in the future. So I decided to apply for this position just because it was very much about using my abilities and my creativity to talk about the things happening in SGA. So that's why I joined.
So I've been blessed with having the same position for 2 years in a row. And the reason I joined in the first place was because I had previous student leadership positions in high school. And so when I was a sophomore, I wanted to bring whatever knowledge I had in regards to change or order to Vanguard. And luckily with my position, I love having responsibilities. I love being someone that has a say in what happens at school, that has a say in clubs, in the finances. That really I just love that. That's my ish. And so when I joined SGA, I was like, I'm a sophomore. I have all these responsibilities. I meet with these important people. I meet with so many people outside of OSC as well that are staff. And just making those connections, and especially in college, our goal is to network. And I do believe that SGA really helps me in just making connections, not for just college, but also connections I will hold on till after I graduate. And so I just thought about how it'll positively affect me in the long run. And that's what made me stay for a second year as well. So that's my reason.
For me, when I came to Vanguard, to be completely honest with you, I didn't want to be at Vanguard. There's another Christian private institution that I had already committed to before coming to Vanguard. So my first couple of weeks on campus, I really didn't want to be here in a way. But I knew that I wanted to make the best out of my time at Vanguard. So I really was used to in high school being a part of ASB. I was familiar with that. So I just stepped out of my comfort zone my freshman year and ran for freshman senator. For those that may not know, I've been in SGA all 4 years. And my journey started my freshman year, and just really running my first time, it really challenged me to step out of my comfort zone and to engage with students in a way that I wasn't used to. And from just those conversations that I had while I was campaigning and during my first year, really set up a passion in me to advocate for students, and wanting to create effective change on campus, and just being a part of something that was bigger than myself. And I think those were some of the main reasons why I chose to remain in SGA the whole 4 years, was just to improve the student experience and to be a part of something. Um, I kind of want to talk about SGA and our role on campus a little bit. A lot of people might not know what the Student Government Association is, and I'm sure you have some assumptions. So feel free to put in the comments below what assumptions you may have about SGA before this video. But I'll have my team a little bit discuss what SGA's role is on campus. Anyone can answer.
I guess to give like a little bit of detail of maybe each of our roles, I feel like Joe, I mean, he's the SGA president. So everyone's like, oh, he's speaking for this on behalf of the students to administration, which is so true. But also all of us have tiny little niches as well. So me being executive vice president, I am the chair and speaker of the House, which sounds so political and like fancy, but a lot of people don't know that we have a House of Representatives on campus. So this is where currently we have 10 representatives, and it changes each year, especially in a COVID year, we had to like switch things up a bit, but they represent a certain demographic and constituency on campus. So they're the direct voice, because us four can't oversee every single department, female and male athletes, different residential areas on campus. So we have our little posse who kind of like go out and they see the world for us so that we can create a bigger voice then. So I get to oversee them on Monday mornings, and I get to hear all of their things of how they are getting to engage with all of you and all the other students on campus, and how their experience is a lot different than maybe ours, especially the freshman representatives. This year has been quite a change, and so it's really fun kind of getting to mentor them, but they're your resource, and so they're kind of like the liaison between the many students on campus and then SGA. So that's kind of what I do, and that gives a little peep into that section of SGA a little bit.
I'll say that I feel like SGA is always doing like a lot of things constantly, and we're always having different discussions about different topics about how we can improve student life for the better of the student body, you know? So, and in my position as Vice President of Communication, I basically help promote and communicate those projects that our House of Reps are doing or the Executive Board is doing to the rest of the student body. And so that's like my biggest thing. Our House of Representatives also do their own forums and different things. So I help them get that promoted out with their graphics and everything. So SGA is just always doing a lot of different things consistently, and it's just great to be able to promote those and advertise for them.
I think that in regards to what SGA does on campus, I think that my position is the absolute coolest, but I feel like that's how everyone is with their own position. But I have, I treat my position really well, and I love how engaged it makes me with people on campus that are on and off SGA, specifically just being the Vice President of Finance and Policy. I directly oversee all of our 25 ICC clubs. So I get to meet with them at the beginning of every semester, and then I have one-on-ones with them throughout the semester just to see where they're at, how they are with their goals, if they need any help, and like overall what the exec board and the house can do to help these clubs, especially during a time when Zoom fatigue is real. And it's hard for people to join a club meeting after having, let's say, like 3 Zooms. I can speak from personal experience. It's a hassle, so many Zooms. But with my position, it's definitely just engaging with them, talking to them, making sure how to come up with new ideas and like say, hey, is it a good idea? Or hey, maybe let's do this instead of that. So if you're watching this and you want to apply to student leadership, I would say apply to this job if you really if you want responsibilities, if you want just to be more involved with the clubs on campus, but you don't know which one, just lead them all, you know? That's why I think my position's the coolest and definitely just has made me more connected with the clubs on campus because as a freshman, that's what they tell you in high school. Join every club, build your resume, do this, do that. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm a business major, whatever, that's so vague. And then with this position, I have felt like it has guided me to paths that have made connections with students and staff. And so I can't keep talking about how great this position is because I could go on for all day.
Yeah, I definitely think any position in the executive board is the coolest position. But I mean, Lucy, you can have your favorites too. But as the SGA president, I kind of like Maddie talked about, I oversee SGA. I meet with the administration on a regular basis to represent and advocate for the student body, discussing different topics that come up that are relevant to what's going on campus at that time. And I think like big picture, SGA, our role on campus is to advocate for students. We are a connection between students and administration. We want to be able to communicate the needs of the student body to administration. And that's why we need it. We really need your help in order to do that. And we'll go a little bit into that soon. But without like big picture, we really want to echo your voice. That's been one of the themes or values that I've had in my time of leadership in SGA. We really just want to empower the student body and to communicate your needs that would create effective change over time. Even the little things that make a big difference on campus, we want to be able to be an outlet for students to be able to communicate those concerns so that we can communicate those concerns to administration. We really have a great relationship with administration, and we strive to have relationships with administration and other students, so that way we can just do our job effectively and represent the student body in that capacity. Now, you may be wondering, why is it important for students to get involved in SGA? I think one of the reasons that makes why it's so important for us to get involved is because, I mean, there's a lot of, for me specifically, I'm a low income student, and no matter if you're low income or not, college is expensive and we're paying a lot of money to go to school. So why not intentionally try to make our experience the best it can possibly be while we're here? Instead of being the one that's sitting on the outside saying, oh, this is horrible, and this is horrible, but not doing anything about it, doesn't really help the cause. So really being able to bring your voice to SGA and really have them echo it to administration to create effective change on campus will dramatically improve your experience. And SGA as a whole, we cannot really get a pulse of every single detail without your input. So I think it's so important for you to get involved with student government, and my team can add a little bit more if they like.
I've always kind of had the idea of the effort you put in is like what you receive back. So I've had some people be like, oh, I went to college and I didn't really like feel like I got anything out of it. But I'm like, did you reach out to the clubs? Did you apply for these positions that maybe you were scared to do? And you're like, I don't know if like that's like meant for me. But if the door is open, I say put the effort in to like see, you know what, I'm gonna like open myself up to this, and if the Lord wants it for you and like the opportunity, it's gonna like bring itself, if that makes sense. So the effort you put in is the experience you're going to get out of it. And SGA, student leadership in general, is the way to do that. And even if you aren't in SGA, participating in the things that we present to you, the forums, and things like that, instead of just like wowing with your friends and like, oh my gosh, this thing about my school is really irritating me. I can't hear back from like this department or the gym, blah, blah, blah. We can make a difference. We just can't, we can't read your minds. And so hearing it from you makes the world of a difference. So that's why I like totally urge you to actually participate, even if you aren't a main spoke in the wheelhouse of like SGA and student leadership.
I think every student leadership position is just really, really important. And to be able to have an opportunity to like learn about professional etiquette or learning about just like how Vanguard works and the people, administration staff is like really, really one of the biggest impacts like working in SGA has on students. And then being able to connect with other students, I think is really, really huge. And I've always been like one to like just love meeting new people and like making new friends. So it's definitely a great platform to do that, to talk to people, to get to know like more about them, where they're from, where they're coming from, and just like different things like that. So SGA has a lot of different doors and opportunities for you to strive in.
For me, I feel like students should get involved because overall, like how you've heard, any student leadership position will help you in whichever way you choose to be helped in. You can only do so much if like someone's knocking on your door, like you have to open that door for the opportunities to come to you. And so, you know, all these reaching out, promos on Instagram, like applying for a student leadership position or even, you know, applying for something in SGA, it'll definitely, I can say this 100% like super confidently, it will help you in the long run. Like this is the time and this is the area to make your mistakes, learn from them, grow from them, so that when you graduate or go into the real world, you're like, oh, been there, done that, won't do that again. I know what to do now. Like this is the time, like your guinea pig trial, but you're also making change at the very same time, which I think is like bizarre, because you would say, how do we have so much responsibility? But sometimes we forget that we're adults, that, you know, change on campus can only do so much if you decide to just sit back and let others just like scoot right by you. Even more so if you guys want to apply to my position, which I think you guys should, you make a lot of connections. I think I've made more friends in SGA than I have if I wasn't in SGA. And just the OSC team, the pro staff, and the people there, they genuinely treat you like family. They make fun of you like family. And I think it's overall one of the best experience I've had in student leadership in all of my positions previously in high school or in, well, this is the only position I've had. So yeah, it's really great. I feel like you guys are definitely joining on this train too.
Yes, absolutely. And then just as a kind of sum it up a little bit, ways that you can get involved with SGA. You can either join SGA, you can apply for Lucy's position or other executive board positions. And then you can also become a part of the House of Representatives. We have our elections in the fall, and they represent different demographics on campus depending on next year's where we're at with COVID. It may look a little different, but they represent the student body with a 5-hour commitment a week or whatever it may be. It's a really great opportunity to get your foot in the door with student leadership on campus and really to, as we all expressed, just really grow in community and get to know people and network. We know community is such a big part of our experience here at Vanguard, so might as well just tap into it and lean in and just make the best out of it. And then also another way, if you don't want to be a part of SGA, I would just say participate in SGA. So that means just attending SGA forums, attending hangouts that SGA puts on, attend the different things that we do, the Zooms, town halls, whatever it may be. Hype us up on our Instagram, share our accounts, comment whenever we ask a question or just on our posts. Be interactive and just reach out, slide in our DMs if something happens and you just want to see change. If the CAF is doing something that you think can be better, feel free to slide in our DMs or email us at any time to really communicate those concerns, because we may not see them. So our reach is limited without you. So make sure that you definitely participate in those ways, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to communicate your concerns, but don't just communicate your concerns, but also bring ideas to solve the problem that you're facing. And during my time in SGA, I've learned a lot that administration really has a heart to create the best experience for students. So they're always open to ideas and concerns. So don't be afraid to communicate your concerns to SGA, so then they can do the work of advocating on your behalf to create a better experience. As promised, we do have a couple of SGA updates. We are excited to continue to advocate and do work for the students on your behalf. One update I'll start us off with is our clause card for this year is released, and it is now available in the student portal. So if you go to vanguard.edu, log into the student portal, and on the first page in the announcement section, you'll be able to download the clause card. Now, you might not know what the clause card is exactly, but it is a student discount card that will give you a discount at places like Hidden House Coffee, Massimo's Pizza, Press Juicery, and House of Yogurt. You just have to show that card on your phone when you are purchasing in those specific locations. The card shows what locations they are available at, so make sure that you're at the right location to receive those discounts. And VP Wegner has a little bit more updates for you.
Yes, so as I said, I get to oversee the House of Representatives, and so they each work towards different projects throughout the semester for their constituency. And constituency, not everyone may know what that actually means, but it's just like the people that are a part of the demographic that they represent. So like there's the residential representative, so their constituency are all residential students. So we also, amongst their personal projects, we also have ad hoc committees, which are when problems or like specific things arise that we continually see like repetitive pattern of, we create an ad hoc committee to put a lot of focus on to making a tangible action to create a better solution to that. So one really specific committee that we've been really working on right now is the Remote Learning Advocacy Committee, which is kind of a long name, but I'm super excited for it. Obviously, all of us are doing online school. There's a few of us that get to go to lab and see fellow students, but everything else is online, right? So we want to create the remote learning as best and like high like quality online school experience for us as possible, especially because we're paying for a private school institution but having an online school education at the moment, which is everywhere around the world, but Vanguard is going to put in the work to make it even better for you than the other schools around the world, which is why you should go to Vanguard if you're like not a student here already. So the Remote Learning Advocacy Committee, we have a group of 5 representatives that are putting all of their focus on the week to creating a better online experience for you. And so they are also going to meet with administration whose specialty is student learning. And there's even a advisor on the administration that his like specialty is online learning, and he's super passionate about it. So they're doing everything they can to try to make the experience as best for us as possible. And us, the executive board, have already talked to them, and it made me so excited to be like, online school kind of isn't wonderful, but he's so passionate about making it better and having small class sizes and decreasing Zoom fatigue that I'm like, okay, things are only going to get better from here. So that's something to be really excited that SGA is working towards, even though you might not see it every day with your eyes, like, oh, SGA is doing something. We really are doing stuff behind the scenes, and it's making a difference. We also have ad hoc committees for the Bon Appetit ad hoc committee. So we're working on increasing the satisfaction of the students that eat at the CAF, and then also the inclusion committee, so that amongst being online and not really getting to commune with students and converse with them on campus, We're trying to find ways to make students, especially freshmen and people that don't really know people on campus from past years without COVID, to making people feel included in an online format as possible. So that's kind of a little bit of updates on my end. But another update regarding current events are our elections. So Lucy has more to say about that.
Woo! Okay, so okay, as you know, or if you don't know, it is presidential election season. So we already have a few, but if you want, we have some candidates that are in replacement for Joe and Maddie's position, our future SGA president and exec president for the 2021-2022 school year. So I am just making sure that you guys know that voting begins right after the night of speeches, which will be the night of speeches is on Thursday, February 18 at 9 p.m. on the YouTube channel called Watch BU. So I'm gonna say that one more time. It's gonna be Thursday, the 18th of February at 9 p.m. on Watch BU on YouTube, and voting begins right after that. So it begins at 10 o'clock when the live will be over, and you can vote anytime between 10 o'clock through February 24th at 5 p.m. And the people that can vote are current freshmen, current sophomores, current juniors, and current seniors that are in their first semester right now and will graduate December 2021. So if you graduate this May, you won't be able to vote, and if you do, your vote just won't count. But if you're a senior and you do vote and you do graduate this December, your vote will count, just to clarify. Other than that, just please just come to Watch BU to watch it, because you rather be an informed voter than someone that just votes for your friend. Because these people that you vote for will actually, you will play a role in who you see will make a better change for you on campus. You know, sometimes it's hard to say. Your friend probably won't be the best choice. And that's why you should go to these Watch BUs to learn who is the best choice. And you could just lie to them about who you voted or something. It's all right. You know, they don't got to know. It's 100% confidential. So even better. Other than that, that's all I have on voting. Please make sure to tune in on Thursday, the 18th at 9 p.m. And just show all your support for SGA and the candidates that we have for that position. I'm so hyped. Okay, and now Matt's going to speak to us about a few things.
Yeah, so if you really just need to have like a set list of things, that everything Lucy just said that's coming up with our events, make sure you follow at Vanguard SGA, because we'll be posting about the different events going on, where it's going to be happening, and everything in between. So follow us at Vanguard SGA.
Thank you for joining us today on our Real Talk Friday. We hope that moving forward, you will be an intentional member of SGA or a participant. Remember that SGA wants to echo your voice. Have a great rest of your Friday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.